don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. All right. If you're on Facebook, you can tag people so that they'll watch. Hopefully, this one will be more steady. So, in this video, we're going to be discussing about the herdsmen issue and crisis. Okay, the Fulani herdsmen issue. Um, if you're joining, you can drop comments so I can see that you are here. Has always had this issue. If you check Nigeria's history, you see that there has always been this herdsmen kind of issue where people migrate with cows and then they start clashing with local wars. The reason it looks like it has gotten worse, the herdsmen crisis, the reason it looks like it has gotten worse is that um, it has finally started getting to the doorstep of some. So when it comes home, I think it has finally come home to many prominent people that have the voice to amplify the situation. But all the time it was in the north and in the middle belt, laureate award. A whole Professor Wole Soyinka cow came to his house and chased him out. You see that it has gotten home now to many people. It's finally home. Many communities can now see herdsmen settlements. It's not just that they're seeing it. There's nothing wrong with any herdsmen settlement of anything. But when they get robbed, they see that the people that rob them and the people that settle look alike and they speak the same language. So it's easy to quickly attack the community. That's what many people are doing. Since they can't get the kidnapper that stopped them on the road, and they know that these guys is the same tribe with these guys that are rearing cows, what do? They attack the guys that are rearing cows. And to complicate issues, some government officials have come out to say that, well, the people that are wearing the cow are causing the problem. They are not Nigerian. The herdsmen are not Nigerians. They came from outside Nigeria. So I saw in the Senate, there is a Senator Alaribe was saying that if government has already said that these people are not Nigerians, what are they doing in Nigeria? That people should go into the forest and drive them out. Since you people say they are not Nigerian, why are you worried when they get driven out? That's how complex the issue is. But if you're like me, you're wondering, these people that are armed, there's no person that is armed that you go to attack his community that will not fire back. True or false? There's no armed person that will see strangers coming to attack them and they will not fire back. They will use their arms. So if people have AK-47, at least let's say in a community of 30, 50 herdsmen, if 3 have AK-47 and you're coming to drive them out, you will hear gunshots. They will shoot back. It happened at Tobibo, in case you don't know. But so far, we've not seen that kind of reprisal attacks. If you're like me, you're wondering why. You understand? We've not seen that reprisal attacks. So what we see every day, you will not be seeing it on this major news media, this Punch newspaper, you'll not be seeing it. But if you're on Facebook every day, there's always a video of one community driving out herdsmen, burning their huts and everything in the forest. But you will not hear that there's gunshots in terms of coming from the herdsmen themselves. So it puts a big question mark on the whole theory that those herdsmen are the ones doing the kidnapping. All right? So let's say, I was trying to paint a scenario before. Let's say that there's a community in the forest, some herdsmen rearing cows. They went into the forest because there's nobody there. They cleared the grounds and they built huts. They built a small community. And out of those people, 3 out of the 30, 40 herdsmen there, 3 out of those people went rogue and go outside to kidnap people and take them to another part of the forest and demand ransom and get the ransom. You understand? If you're attacking that main community, you may not get reprisal because that community is not this. They are innocent. They are not the ones doing causing the problem. So you get robbed at the main road. The people robbed you. They are speaking Fulani, okay? Then you get somebody gets kidnapped. The person that you hear their voice on the phone is Fulani. Then you look outside and start feeding them, especially places that they are not their land. Open grazing is when you carry livestock, go into other people's land. Do you know that since 1960s, they have banned open grazing? Why did they ban it in Nigerian law? Why did it enter Nigerian law? Significant. So the issue of open grazing has been a problem since 1960s that they put it in the Nigerian law. So it's not a common, recent issue. When we're young, if a Fulani herdsman takes their cows into your farm and the cows damage your crops, if you approach them, they will beg, because if you come and say that you will kill at even one cow, they will lie on the ground and they will beg you, beg you, beg you. You know, if you insist, they'll go and call their chief or whatever to come and beg you. That's how it has always been, until all of a sudden these people started carrying AK-47. You know, if you go to shout, you go to the forest and you see somebody with 1,000 cows eating your crops, and you want to shout, boom, you just hear that you are dead. It's your spirit that will be observing. And you will be hearing stories that if they see a woman dead, the woman could be raped. And you don't know who is doing that. But communities have started attacking Fulanis because they know that from their experience, people that attack them are also Fulani. So what do? They turn to the ones that they can see. Because the ones that are raped in the forest, and you can't, once they do that, they disappear. You can't see them again. The ones that kidnap people, you can't easily catch them. So what do? They attack the ones that they can see. So that's the issue we're facing in Nigeria now. And it's coming home gradually, in the sense that it's getting to the doorsteps of people that have the voice, people that have large following, and took his gun to his doorsteps. Wole Soyinka was granting an interview to BBC News and said that his farmland has been shrinking and shrinking because these people are taking it. Nice. Nobel laureate award winner. What we're discussing today is how many cows enter his compound. Police said it's one. Wole Soyinka said it's many. That he called police. Police took time to arrive. They all have. So number one big question is, what is so hard in ranching that these herdsmen cannot do ranching? What? It's not the actual herdsman on the streets that is carrying AK-47 or rearing the cow in ranching that they can't do. You understand? What is it about ranching that the owners of all those flocks cannot do? Ranching is supposed to fence a whole large plot of land. So what's difficult about ranching that these herdsmen cannot accomplish? It's a big question. You know, that's how it's done any other. There's no other developed part of the world that you see people rearing cows into other people's compound. Even in the UK, how many times have you ever seen a cow, somebody, even if it's not rearing, let's say he's taking it from one farm to another, and all the cows are walking on the street. You can't see that kind of thing. If you have to transport animals, you have to package them very well and transport them in a trailer. So that's the first big question. So what are the northern governors, and not just governors now, I'm saying northern because that's where most of the herdsmen come from, and rich men and businessmen and the whole business empire, what are they doing in terms of solving this ranching issue? Let me tell you what a country like Qatar did. Qatar went to, I think, Australia and shipped 55,000 cows. They put it on a plane, a cargo plane, flew them to Qatar because there was an embargo. All the countries around them placed embargo, so they could no longer import food. So they shipped 55,000, shipped it into their country and started grooming it and still buying more. You know, you will not hear herdsmen farmer crisis. They just they targeted the problem, solved it once and for all. So where are the herdsmen coming down? If you look at the map of Nigeria, they're coming down to the western. It's because what? Sahara Desert is getting wider by 30 miles per year. You know what is 30 miles? If you drive, you know how much is 1 kilometer. Multiplied by 25, 30, 40. That's how much the desert travels per year. It's expanding really, really fast. Now, what do other people in other countries where deserts are expanding do? You know, they start planting to counter the effects of the desert. Because the way it is now, in the next 100, 200 years, the whole Nigeria will be desert. If you see how fast it's expanding, the Sahara Desert, if you see maps of West Africa in the past and compared to now, even 100 years ago, you see that the desert has expanded very, very fast. So there's desertification. Why is there desertification? Because people are cutting trees to build things. All this wood and chairs and everything you use in your house, where do you think the material is coming from? Do you know how long it takes to grow one tree? Now, what does China do? China, every year, China plants millions of trees. In fact, there's a part of China that's a desert. China attacked this desert. They said they planted so much trees that they changed the climate of the earth. Oh, geez. China. What of India? Every year, India consistently breaks world record on highest number of trees planted per day. You know what India will do? They will get all the schools in India to give crops to all their. Why is it not happening in Nigeria? It will not cost anybody anything. Let me tell you. Government just need to put a rule that before you gain admission into a university, you must have planted 7 seeds and provide. Just give a rule. As part of your the way we have NYSC, as part of your graduation procedure in Nigeria, you must serve 1 year paramilitary service. That procedure. We have thousands of youths that go for NYSC. I don't know how many, but if you let's say it's even 30,000 youths. If you say that each person must plant 10 trees and submit it as a project. So if this government puts it into constitution, or make a what do you call it, an executive order that before you graduate, before you get, so before you must have graduated X, because NYSC, there's nothing they're doing. They should be planting 10 trees per month. At the end of the month, year, service year, the person has planted 120 trees. You so wants to tackle desertification. And we don't need the federal government to do it. We can just do it at the state government level. A governor can stand up and give that rule, because it's desertification that is causing these herdsmen to talking about Ruga, how they will get farmland from communities that are trying to give away herdsmen. So they now want to get farmlands in those communities for the herdsmen. And like, come on. We should start looking at the core roots. How can we solve this problem now that in 10 years, 20 years time, we'll not have it again? You get? How can we solve it now? 10, 20 years, we'll not have it again. What of pension? If they said before you get your pension, you must prove that you've planted XY tree in your compound or in your farmland. Okay, you do it, you snap picture, you take that picture as evidence to the government, and they pay you your pension. If they do it now like that, it's going to work. So when a country faces existential threats, they take certain steps. Like when Taiwan was battling coronavirus, they recruited the army to start constructing masks. They went to mass construction companies and said, we need massive mass construction for everybody. So they now went to the army and told the army, go and start working as laborers in those companies. Seriously, last year, Taiwan, they never went on lockdown. It is one of the countries that never went, and they never had coronavirus massive outbreak, because what, they deployed their youth. Now we have a lot of soldiers. We have a lot of police, NCDC, road safety. Why can't they plant trees? There is a lot of energy in Nigeria wasting. You know, once a month or once in 2 months, let there be a national tree planting day. Before you collect salary, you plant. Show to your guy will show to the guy that it is what it is. No matter how much solutions we try to implement at the surface level, as long as the certification keeps eating Nigeria down, it will keep pursuing these herdsmen into this. And now this herdsmen crisis is making it look like is supporting their argument. And some other people have started to see reason. So some northern governors have started proposing Ruga, even though Ruga may